Thank you, everybody. It's great to have you here. It's my great pleasure to present our project, which has been able to move so many people to do something great. This anthem was actually out there like 5 days after the creation of Liberland. My now good friend Varhan Orchestrovic composed it for us.
I'm going to show you how you can apply for Liberland citizenship. First, you gotta go to liberland.org.
You got like thousands and thousands of
liberland.org.
now videos online. You know, people are putting up how to apply for citizenship, and it's because it's 375,000 people who apply for this project somehow. You know, and it's an enormous force that it's very hard to organize at the very beginning. So some people tell me, you know, we are bad in organizing, but try to organize such a incredibly large group of people, and that's what we are actually working out. It's our primary purpose and primary goal. And this is Liberland, how it looks from air. This is the last time we flew there with Air Liberland, our newly established airline, which goes every Friday from Prague to Liberland. And as you can see, it's a very nice piece of land. It is between Croatia and Serbia. You can see the island, which is full of sandy beaches, which is great. And I'm going to speak about how the idea of Liberland came about. It's like mostly asked question these days. I'm going to give you a basic information about Liberland itself. Then we will talk a little bit more about who are these people who applied for the citizenship, and something about international treaties and future development of Liberland. And then I will play a couple of videos that I think you will like, also about our future ideas, what we're going to do next. First of all, who inspired me to create Liberland? And when I was 13 years old, I got to read a book by Frederick Bastiat called Law. I don't know how many of you actually read this book. It's quite a lot. Maybe 1/3, almost half of the people here. Yes, I was 13 when I read this book, and then I went to a bookstore and I bought all the pieces that were left on the market. And it was probably like 30, not too many. I gave it to all my friends. And since that, you know, nobody republished the book, only in the electronic version, or it was part of another book. So I decided, as part of the Liberland project, now we are going to publish this book again in Czech Republic and other languages as well. Because this is really something which changed my life. And when you read the introduction to the book, yes, the law is perverted, and the police powers and state power perverted with it. The law, say, not only turned it from its proper purpose, but made it to follow an entirely contrary purpose. The law became the weapon of every kind of greed. Instead of checking crime, the law itself guilty of the evil it is supposed to punish. If this is true, it is a serious fact, and moral duty requires me to call attention of my fellow citizens to it. And you know, I decided, why not? This is a nice call to action. Let's work a little bit more on it. And I set up this organization called Reformy.cz, and I've been translating everything which came to my mind that could do something in this field. So for example, I translated all these John Stossel videos. You can see that they're not only translated into Czech, but many other languages as well. I think 150,000 people were able to see them on our website. And yes, we've translated around 150, 160 other videos about economic freedom. That's why our YouTube channel received some 7 million views. And then our other channel, mustwatch.eu, received some 8 million views. And I've been promoting the ideas of liberty then from probably since I was 16, 17. I've been working hard on that, apart of on doing like some analytical jobs for some brokerage companies and some stuff as an entrepreneur. I've set up an internet company which now offers internet to 6,000 people, for example. So I've been entrepreneurial as well as I try to always be in this field of education, and we try to be the most effective as possible, so we translated the best videos online that we could get. And apart from that, I really like Mario Bart, and he usually quotes Macron, ideal government, a government that barely escapes being no government at all. Czech quite like this quote, you know, it's in his book. It's in his book For a New Liberty, which is also a nice book, and also Anatomy of State that could be considered one of the Bibles of Liberland. So, again, some basic data about Liberland. It is called Free Republic of Liberland. Its motto is live and let live. The form of government is constitutional republic with elements of direct democracy. We combine the best elements of American Constitution with the elements from the Swiss Constitution. The official languages are English and Czech. Well, I don't know many people speaking Czech in Liberland nowadays. So far. I think it's going to be mainly English. And it was established on 13th of April to honor the birthday of Thomas Jefferson. And taxation system, well, yeah, we decided to introduce something totally new. We decided to introduce completely voluntary tax system. And I think it's achievable. I don't think there is any problem with it, since we limited government to make only 3 functions. That would be taking care of security, legal system, and diplomacy. That would be probably like 2% of state's budget nowadays. So, you want to know where Liberland is? That's people ask the most about it. Just put it into Google Maps. You can see where the embassy in Prague is when you put it into Google Maps, and you can also see this place right there, right under Hungarian borders, and it says closed. Yes, that's the situation right now. It was open, it was very freely accessible land before I declared the country. Now it is closed. And I'm not too, I don't have too much problems with it. For now, yes, it's closed. The Croatia police decided that they will blockade the whole area. And I take this as an opportunity to organize people around the world, as opportunity to set up embassies. And as I've been able to set up as much as 25 embassies around the world. And we are now setting up embassies also in US, in every single state. Yes, it was no man's land. Yes, we have a total legal right to claim that land and establish a country there. And yes, we might be confusing them a little bit. They didn't expect something like that to happen. Nobody actually did that for 24 years. But Croatia never said in history, it is their land. They always claimed it's Serbia's. And Serbia always said it's Croatia's. So that's why we came in and took this nice piece of land. It's shaped, or heart-shaped. It's 7 square kilometers. You can see it's right on the bank of Danube River, which is an international waterway. So everybody should have free access according to international conventions. Even people from all around the world can just go by boat. It's probably 2,000 kilometers down the Danube River, but they can access it from the sea, which is great. And it's on the border between European Union and non-European Union state, which is also a great place to do such a thing.
How deep is the water there by Liberland?
How big?
How deep is it?
Oh, probably 5 meters.
Okay.
It's 600 meters wide. And let me go over a couple of things which international law says about setting up new countries. And most important, I think, is the Article 3 of Montevideo Convention, and which says the political existence of a state is independent of recognition by any other states, which I think is critical. We don't really care that much whoever recognizes us. And the Article 4 says states are judicially equal and enjoy the same rights. So we should be treated just like any other state. And Article 11 says any territory obtained by force is not obtained, basically. So if Croatia now decides they are going to take this territory by force, their claim on the land is not legal. And what is a great thing is that Serbia is quite supportive of the project. And you can see the police boats behind me there. They're always there now. There was no police boats before I claimed the land. Now there are 6 or 5 of them all the time. And what did Serbia say? Like 11 days, see, 24th of April. 11 days after I set up the country, when all the international attention came about and the CNN wrote about it, Russia Today wrote about it, they said they don't mind creation of Liberland. They think it's a frivolous act, but they don't mind the creation of Liberland, and it's not formed on the territory of Serbia. And they are supportive until now. Yes, they're speaking to us. They're trying to help us get this started, which I think is a great information. They're not going to get too involved. They will see how we are doing first, but they will be helping us. And it's also my great pleasure to announce that the cadastral maps, that means the land registry of Liberland, is now fully functional. You can see it on e/liberland.org. So even detailed maps of the territory, including all the private pieces in Liberland, you can see all of that as it should be. That is because a good friend of mine is running a new system for land registry in Czech Republic, and he offered it as a gift. So we have a state-of-art land registry system. And people always ask, what do you have there? Yes, we've got there one house right now. This house, it's abandoned for 30 years. It was there because some family who took care of the forest, it was a state property then, took care of the forest, was living there. But 30 years ago, they totally abandoned it. And everybody, all the media, it was funny, all the media in those 14 days, the Croatian media, the Serbian media were going there and look, this is their parliament, see how in bad shape these guys are. and this was our reply, this is how the parliament is going to look like whenever we get the access there. And this probably will be the only governmental building in the territory for very long. And I think we can fit all of these people who will make up the assembly in that space there, and we can fit police unit there, we can fit immigration there, and maybe one judge. And I think we are all set for quite a long time. Because government will be banned to do anything but these functions. Okay, citizenship. We've got interest from all around the world, but of course, especially Middle East. They make up like 40% of the total registration. And especially Egypt. It's 81 or 82,000 by now. Altogether, it's 356,000 registration on the website in different stages of application process. And out of these numbers, 54,000 almost are fully eligible for the citizenship. They applied everything in correct way. They filled up the fields that we can accept them. So we are probably twice larger than Liechtenstein, and if we accepted everybody who registered at the website, we'd be larger than Iceland by now, which is not too bad, and it also gives hard times to people who want to call Liberland micronation, right? So we are not too micro now. And we've got 8,300 people from US, 8,900 people from Czech Republic, 5,300 people from Russia. So it's quite international.
Just curious, how many from India?
India, I think it's 4,500. They are just below Russia, actually. And yes, I've been able to, it's very important for us that there is somebody who stands up in those countries and start taking interest. And I've got a guy there who is going to take care of our interest in Puerto Rico. This gentleman is Walls is taking care of our interest in the United States. Jan Fior is taking care of our interest in Poland. Yes. Then we've got Andreas, who's taking care of our interest in Liechtenstein. We've got quite a few people who are going to make sure that these people who applied for the citizenship will have some service. And it might come to the time when it will be much more comfortable for you if you get in trouble somewhere around the world. You will not call the American embassy, you might call the Liberlandian embassy, because it might work better. You will have better connections there and better service there.
We also have our Canadian representative here,
Yes,
Mr. Lovett.
I couldn't see you, sorry. Yes.
Hiding over here in the corner.
Brian Lovett, which is great. We just made a deal, and he's going to take care of our interest in Canada. And yes, we've got a great support. And I was wondering who are these people on the list. And I wanted to meet Doug Casey and see what he thinks about this project. And during the meeting, I found out that he filled in the application 2 months ago. So yes, we've got a great support even from the international community of investors. And I met so many people who are enthusiastic about this project here on this conference. So how do you get the citizenship now? And this is going to change very soon. But for now, it's only enough when people really directly help with something. It can be their time, money, connections, or something. And then they are able to travel down to Liberland to see what is actually going on there. And there are about 50 people now living on a permanent basis. We rented very nice houses around the area on Serbia's side. And yes, they're there just because of a simple reason. They are ready to move into the territory whenever that is possible. And yes, they are getting arrested from time to time. It's quite funny, from one side they arrest you for crossing borders from Croatia to Serbia. If you go from the other side and you're crossing borders from Serbia to Serbia. So that's a little bit crazy what they're trying to do. And we are going to change this, and we are going to do something different. We are going to establish a system in which people will be able to gain Liberlandian merits, so sort of currency. And if you will donate to Liberland, then you will get the merits, and you can buy the citizenship with it. Or you can also be within this structure of government of Liberland, or within the structure of embassies, and you can be doing something, and you will also be able to earn merits. So we don't have to use any other nation's currency, which I think is great. We can just use our own currency to pay those people who are going to promote the ideas of liberty and the ideas of recognition of Liberland around the world. It's going to be there probably in 14 days or so. And it's also great that we decided that we will give these merits to everybody who donates us now or in the past. We'll just make sure that everybody get these merits on their accounts. When you register on the website, you will see your status of the merit chart, on which we will show all the positions that are available within Liberlandian government and also within the embassies. And people will be just very easily able to sign up for these. And they will be able to decide if they want to be visible on that chart or not. And I think it would be also a great marketing thing, because you can proudly say, I'm ambassador for Malaysia. These are my contact details. And I'm not only ambassador, I'm doing, for example, diplomacy stuff. You can contact me for whatever you want. It's going to be a large social network as well. And I think it's manageable within 14 days or 3 weeks. And a part of that, solving the problem of IT system, we also bind Liberland to a number of international treaties. We showed interest in UN Charter, and that's why I'm going to Washington next week. If you had any connections there, feel free to contact me. I will use them. When I looked over the applications, we found out that we have 40 people working for the United Nations. So we sent them 2 days ago. We sent them, if they could find a good connection for us there. And I received so many emails, I didn't even get to go through it. So on the application list, there are 40 people who are directly working for UN, which is great. It really gives us an advantage over any other projects like this in the past. We said that we are applying for the Geneva Conventions, which we can do unilaterally. And that is also giving us this advantage that when these people are kidnapped from Liberland and taken to Croatia, yes, it can be considered a cross-border kidnapping now, and we might do something about it in future. Just to show you, even in the small countries like Slovenia, where I said 12 hours before I went there that there are going to be an embassy meeting, all these people could make it, and they make up a great team. They are organizing tours to Liberland, they are organizing translations. One of these guys is working for the government in Slovenia, so he's giving us up-to-date information about the situation and recognition in Liberland. And yes, they're very helpful. One of these guys owns a PR company which is helping us to promote Liberland in Slovenia. And what is the situation now? We've got, and this is the blue thing is where we have an embassy, and the yellow thing is where we have a supporting political party. And this is not really up to date. I can tell you that we have embassy now in Germany, as well as in Netherlands, as well as in UK. And this is only 10 days old month, which, you know, we are spreading quite fast. And I can tell you that all these people that are there are, you know, people who are serious about this, who have a really good connection, just like Fior in Poland. And we can even say that we have a supporting political party in Poland, right? We can tell it. There were many open statements by the political guys in Poland who were supporting it.
We have a few very small liberty-oriented political and semi-political movements, and they are supporting Liberland, and I hope that should give us about 7 to 10% of parliament in Poland. Elections are on October, so we'll see.
And I think it's a good, yeah, that it's not only one party, it's more parties. It's the Libertarian Party of Poland. They're in direct contact with me. One of the members is taking care of the administrative functions of the embassy already. And a part of that, we've been able to set up Liberland, which flies regularly from Prague to Liberland, Osijek airport. So you also get a twice flight around Liberland if you fly with it. It's not that expensive now, it's $500. It might go down as low as $200, which is quite nice. And I'm taking all these people who are interested. At that time it was New York Times, for example. It was the documentary people who follow us all the time from the Czech Prague University of Movies. And this was Tomáš Zdechovský, member of European Parliament, who was the first diplomat who went to Liberland. And he tried how the diplomatic passport works. Yes, it works great. You know, you can have a party in Liberland, they can arrest you. And we've got pretty nice newspapers, Liber Times. I can get a couple of them on the way out of here. And unfortunately, most of them are now in Czech, but we've got the bilanguage version, so maybe three things are still available in English there. Yes, this was from our trip with Mr. Zdechovský. We were followed by the police boats, and they were quite crazy about it, that they cannot do anything because he had a diplomatic passport. And I'm trying to, you know, one of the aspects of statehood was, of course, to make diplomatic connections. That's why I'm going to Washington. I hope to meet there a number of important congressmen next week. But I've been able to do a lot of diplomacy already in Prague. I've been visiting embassies. I've been talking to ambassadors. And this was, for example, a very nice meeting with Ambassador Extraordinary of the Sovereignty Military Hospital Order of St. John of Jerusalem of Rhodes and Malta, His Excellency Mr. Mario Pakloti. If I'm writing it right, it's pretty large title. And this guy is the head of Maltesian Knights in Czech Republic. He seemed to be very supportive. He gave us a number of advices. These guys, they don't have a land, they've chilled very little. So I was discussing with them if they would be interested in this project. But they are a subject of international law, so they can, you know, help us. They could possibly guard our diplomatic mission. We've got a lot of people on spot. We are buying boats. This is a very nice boat that people now can live on in Liberland, because police will only be bothered if you go on land. But you can be in Liberland, in Liberlandian waters. That's what we are doing. We put this boat there already for a couple of nights. And people can sleep in Liberland. They can marry in Liberland. They can bear children in Liberland nowadays. So I think it's great that we have this opportunity, which gives us this status of Danube River, which is international water, and police cannot do anything there. And still we are in Liberland. We've got a very nice Mustang, you know, for the transport in Europe. Yes, Jeffrey Tucker is very supportive. He wrote a very nice article. So we've got a support from the libertarian movement in the US as well. And we've got support from locals. This is the office building, future office place where we're going to have a seat of the government. And not only that, this is the owner of the dogs. He's very supportive. We are going to have this office space for probably 100 people. And what we are trying to achieve in Liberland is that we want to promote the idea of having lots of internet nomads, people who can work their regular jobs and they can help Liberland as well. We are trying to make it as comfortable for them to come there and work 5 hours a day on their job and then maybe 2 hours a day work on Liberland and then have fun with other people who come from all around the world. And that's our main goal at the moment. And just to give you a very quick overview of the area looks like now. We've been based for a long time in Bezdam. That's where we had chiefs and we had this meeting point there. Now we are moving all our stuff closer to Liberland, which is in Bački Monoštor, in this area. We are going to rent a piece of land here so we can have a festival there. It's only 3.5 kilometers away from Liberland. Here is going to be office building. In this place we are going to have embassy. And it's quite close. It gives us lots of opportunities to have fun. We are also going to rent part of this former factory that we can use for festivals. And in future we decided that we will rent this piece of land right next to Liberland, and we are going to make a festival for 100,000 people. I'm wondering how they are going to deal with it. And we can bring these people there because we have a support of people who organize these festivals in Croatia as well as in Serbia. They just send the invitation for a slightly different place, and people from all around the world will come there. Not only because of Liberland, maybe also because of great music and good organization. So yes, they can manage, RS call people, but if we have 100,000 people there, we will right now to swim over there. It's just like 2 minutes swim. And this is one of the important things, of course, to have fun for the people on the spot. But also, other important thing for me is to really set up proper embassies, do proper connections from all around the world. That's why I'm going to San Francisco tomorrow, Washington, New Hampshire, New York. I will set up a honorary consulate there. I will meet the people, liberty-loving people, and then I'm going to Austria, Serbia, Germany to do similar things, and to speak on some big conferences. For example, in Germany, I'm speaking on this hackers conference where we have like 3,000 people who will listen to me. In Serbia, I'm very lucky to have a great ambassador now who is a former chief or former worker for military intelligence. You can just pick up the phone and call the foreign ministry. Now we can be very open about it. He said it's already fine if we mention him. But I need to go to Serbia, do some lectures, do more diplomacy there on spot. And after that, I'm going to Dubai for some large conference. Poland, which FIOR is organizing, which is great. UK to set up proper embassy there. And Spain and Switzerland. And there is going to be vote on Switzerland, on Liberland recognition in Switzerland. It's already organized. And I believe it's going to happen in September. And of course, after that, I will have possibility to use Andreas's connections and go to Liechtenstein, speak to Hans Adam, who might be very supportive of our ideas in Liechtenstein, because he wrote a book about it. I quite like the book, The State in the Third Millennium. He just wrote about Liberland, basically. And you can follow all my diplomatic troubles on the news page. It's very easy. It's Google Calendar. Just make sure you see that this is Central European time. So we have to subtract or change it, put it into your calendar so that you will see the proper times. Again, so I'm here from 14th to 20th of July in Washington and New York. I'm going to visit Heritage Foundation, Cato, Center for Enterprise, and I hope to have lots of good connections there. Then on 21st of July, there is going to be a demonstration in front of every embassy in Croatia embassy that we can afford. I think it will be probably like 25 embassies where people will gather and they will sort of, improve the organization of our embassies in those states. And it's a nice meeting point for Liberlandians at the Croatian embassies. And this already happened, we had these people in Denmark, trying to protest against the arrest of Orly, a guy who spent, I think, 8 days in Croatian prison for going into Liberland. And on 17th of August, I would like to start this Liberland Sport Festival. This was from last happening. We celebrated the 4th of July, the American Independence Day. And we will celebrate it in Liberland as well, because I think it's a nice date since we set up the country on 30th of April to celebrate Thomas Jefferson's birthday. Why don't we, go on and celebrate other freedom-loving traditions that are there in the U.S. That was great because we had Bloomberg guys with us, we had Euronews guys, and I hope their articles and their stories will come out probably at the beginning of next week. So watch for Bloomberg and watch for Euronews for the coverage of these last events. And let me show you just a couple of videos. Yeah, anyway, these are the cadastral maps now, eliberland.org. So they are very detailed now, with a very high precision. So we can start negotiating with Serbia about our borders, about this line over here. And we've got very precise measurements now, so we can talk to them in a very good way. And I didn't mention that my ambassador is actually a son of chief of Border Commission of Serbia, which might give us some advantage during these negotiations. We might sit at the table during lunch and we might discuss how do we do these borders. Anyway, and you are already able to click on these things and see who will be the owners in the near future. Actually, I only show you this idea how
8 minutes.
Yeah, 8 minutes. How we're gonna do the festival, and we teamed up with the guys who do it in Czech Republic, who did it already twice, who had a great success with it. People to, and since after they go there, for example, to get citizenship or to meet with other libertarians, we want them to have fun. And for example, to have this sort of festival in Serbia, it's probably something like $20,000 to $30,000. And whatever we do now down there, we want people to make money, not just donate. So we are looking for investors, for example, for this festival, who can make this happen on 7th of August. It's pretty short time, but yes, we are able to put all these fun stuff there. We are able to promote it in local media as well as with our email list, to start showing that we are really serious about that we are going to have lots of people there who want to be Liberlandians. And a part of that, of course, for example, our mission with my First Lady, which I haven't mentioned yet, unfortunately, Jana. We have to go all around the world to promote this idea, which also costs time and money. This project so far, I spent some $40,000. I've been able to fundraise around the same money. And we also restructured now the organization. It used to be my non-profit organization, which I ran for lots of years, whose main goal was to promote more liberty, personal freedoms, and economical freedoms around the world, which fitted somehow. But now we decided that we will move the whole operation into Hong Kong, so we don't have any legal and tax problems in the future. So if you would like to help this project, you can go to our website. There is this old number for the non-profit organization, or you can contact me. You could help us by donating or giving money. to this Hong Kong company, which is now taking, taking care of Liberlandian budget, or it will start taking care probably from next week on.